Hey, welcome back, everyone, to the 400th Knowledge Seekers Workshop here on Thursday, September 30th, 2021. Mr. Kesh, are you ready to begin the next part of today's workshop?
Yep, ready, willing, and able, I hope.
Okay, we had a question from Jan wondering whether you would be returning to Iran after soon, or you've changed your mind about that. You mentioned something about
Can you
going through.
repeat?
The question from Jan was, Mr. Kesh had said he'd be returning to Iran after the election, which is held about 2 months ago. Will he be back to Iran soon, or has he changed his mind?
We will return to Iran, for definite, for sure.
You have to make sure the exhibition center is situated first, I guess. That's number one priority at this point.
The priority for us is to, at the moment, the Iranian team are working with the people in the background to support us to complete in finding and completing the process of the first spaceship city in Iraq. They're looking at different options, and once it's done, we will go back to Iran to build the space city, and what we call the spaceship city of Iran, which, as part of it, as we have discussed with the people, is bringing in all the space agencies to work from the same center. At the moment, if you agree to be somewhere, we agree all to be in one place. There is a lot of things taking place. It's not easy, especially now that the new government has taken shape. They're realizing how much the old government has damaged everything beyond. We had a corrupt leadership, and now that Mr. Rouhani has gone in all this corruption with Mr. Nazif, we see a big changes. But it takes time to uproot these people who are sitting in these offices from their old regime, because they were used to lubricating their pockets, and the new regime is trying to change that position. But yes, I'll be returning to Iran sometime in the next few months, but it has to be completed. And there are a few things which has to be done in Europe before I return.
Okay, we've got a question about the soul travel from Antonio in the Q&A. Mr. Kesh, can we, through the soul, travel into a universal enhancement unit, say from Australia to Linz, or do we need two units, one here and one unit at the other end?
Both possible. Depends what you decide. It's not tricky, it's just understanding the knowledge, how to do it. There are no GPSs in the universe. So you decide on the place which you have chosen, the field of strength of. In a way, you measure ahead where you want to be, and then you transfer the right energies to appear at that position, the place and time, and then be able to stand the conversion at the point where, when you can go from one unit to another, you already know what is going to be another side. If we take you from Rome to Paris, you know you're on Earth condition. But if we take you from here to another position in the space we've never been, you have to be able to use the same understanding, but put certain parameters around it that guarantees survival at the point of manifestation. Not necessarily physical manifestation, but manifestation as energies. We will learn, mankind will learn this very quickly. There is a race which is not far sitting outside the Earth, that's specialized for this. And when we achieve full understanding of the piece, these races like teachers are ready to come in to teach mankind a lot more. But man should first change.
Okay, thank you. I have a technical question from Saga SS in the chat here, who I think is apparently from Brazil, and asking, Mr. Kesh, could you explain how the protons, which are made of quarks and being quarks and an invisible force field, the Higgs field with its respective bosons, that is responsible for attributing mass to other elementary particles, works in this state? Below the Higgs boson is what has been named by science as a quantum vacuum. How does this act on the ship?
I'm trying to be very polite and find an answer to this. Higgs and bosons and whatever, up quarks and down quarks, all as a field we know, but a bunch of what I call hot air. Up quarks or down quarks is what you call Earth or Moon or matter state in that position or field state. And when two entities within the environment, which are magnetic, gravitationally dynamic, they create field forces. So you call it bosons or buzzers is the same. Understanding the technology, understanding the process of creation, which counts. Mankind has made too many names without understanding what actually is. If you call up quark Earth, down quark the Moon, and then where is Quarkico job is. We didn't understand this, and we accepted all the rubbish which was put in by scientists who thought, oh, I'll be imagining, thinking, and do something, and people will follow. We've seen it with the biggest liar, Stephen Hawking. He lied and cheated, and he came out with things. We saw the same thing with Einstein. And these things are now understanding the process of the principle or the central energy to transition from A to B, and that B is manifestation of entity, answers everything. It just depends what energy, where, and what. So there is no quarks. The only quirkiness is the scientists who managed to, or tried to fool us for such a long time. And when you have dynamic fields, as plasmas in different sizes interacting, you get different effects and different fields in motion. You call them whatever you like. Read book number 1 and 2, and then you understand how much we've been misled. Now you can understand it. You don't need to imagine it. You can put names into it as you like it. A proton is a shell of the solar system. Is Earth a quark, or is Jupiter up quark? You understand it. These things were made by a bunch of illiterate scientists who wanted to show they understand something. The time of these things are over. You understand what is in book number 1, you create the names you like for what you do. Any other question?
I had a question or suggestion that came from the Italian group through Stefania in the Q&A. On the 2nd and the 3rd of October, can all knowledge seekers connect at the soul level, or by spraying the GANS waters on Sunday, connect to the Linz conference and enhance the plasma dome on Sunday to a higher level? We can do this every Sunday.
You can do it every Sunday. And many people around the world do it nowadays. You don't need to wait for a Sunday. You chose a Sunday. You can do it anytime. Every day you have so many cancers sitting in your kitchens or whatever for months and years. What are they doing in there? Just fill them up and every day put some of the water in the sink. Put it on the plant. Put it on the outside in the garden. Don't wait for a Sunday and only one. You by habit, mankind is a hoarder. How many gases do you have in your house, in your kitchens, in your labs? They're sitting there for years. Why don't you use it to add, to change? Once a week, twice a week, just go through all of them and throw them, and just all you need to do is to fill it up with more water. And you have more for next day, next half an hour. Don't wait for Sundays and just 1 cup. Change. You feel the difference.
And people use their intention to help support the event at Linz through that action?
Yes, you can do anything. You can support anything at the center.
Okay, that'll be a good one for them to focus on in their Zoom meeting on Sunday. And Stefania mentions, in this way we can support all souls in existence to balance themselves to bring peace.
Oh, well, a lot of ways, different ways. It's this exhibition center is going to be here for a long time, and there's a preset for a lot of things. Preset for a lot of changes, and we'll see as it goes along and how it takes shape. It's protected under a UFO, and we'll see how this UFO shares knowledge and itself with all of us. It's a very beautiful place to be in, and we'll see. Will they bring the soul of humanity for it to grow?
Speaking of flying, Salamia asked in the Q&A, how can we use the principle of the creation and functioning of black holes for flying? I'm studying your article concerning the black hole translated in Romanian. Thank you.
Depends what you call a black hole. Black hole is as a point black, but inside it is bright. It's the sun. It's just at a certain point, it's in balance with its environment, what it receives and what goes out. It's like a nanolayer. When you have a tube, a copper wire, you nano coat it, outside is black. Doesn't mean there is nothing inside it. So it's the same. Inside a black hole is a star. In balance with the fields which it receives and takes, it creates a darkness, what we call the blackness. It still has a point of transition. It still has a point of gravity to pull and magnetical to give. What gravity you want to create and what you want to gravitate to. And when you become, that becomes the black hole of the knowledge for your test and what you want to achieve.
What would be the relationship between what we call the free plasma and the black hole? Is there a relationship there?
They're all plasmas. A free plasma or a black hole or a neutron or whatever you want to call it. Even if you look at a neutron, if you approach a neutron at a certain point, it will look black. Even an electron. It's like the atmosphere. At a certain point, every plasma will look black. So you become a black hole because you become a black energy. It depends on the interaction of the fields from its environment. This is what we discussed some times ago. It's the point of observation. If you have a neutron and you have field, a certain point, one of these fields will surely be black. Then does this neutron become a black hole? Even Earth at the certain points will become black, cannot be seen. Depends on what the speed, what rate, and where, how you approach it. You have the copper wire. Inside is still there copper. For that, a few layers, you are black. If you extend it, here you get ganses. If you push it inside, you get the solid matter of the copper. But you still here are black. Every plasma, every structure has a black, what we call a black hole, a point of balance of the fields. And if you understand this, you can make yourself invisible. 1 second, you can see me. 1 second, not. Any other question?
Jacko has a question here, and we have a couple of hands up as well. Jacko's question goes, hello, Mr. Keshe. Hello, everyone. Mr. Keshe, since we are short before traveling, can you explain more on the cleaning process, not to create harm to other souls? Is the cleaning also required when we travel without the physicality? Greetings, Jacko. Sorry, say again.
What does cleaning mean? What does it mean by cleaning? We don't have showers in the universe.
You have mentioned in the past, like a chamber that you would go through, or some kind of process you go through before entering the spaceship as a cleansing process.
He says recognition process. In a way, you have to understand what you've done. You have to understand what you carry with you. What is the reason for it? If you remember, we always said, not many people will board the spaceships because they know they don't carry the right details. They know what they've done wrong. The spaceship has a soul, and the soul of those who carry it. And if you don't fit within the structure, you cannot fit in it anywhere. And that's what we call, we change, or not change, we separate, as we say in English, the wood from the chaff. Your soul does it, in conjunction with those souls who are the passengers of the universe. Do they want a murderer with them? Do you want somebody who is what is not as part of? Any other question?
Okay, let's hear from our attendees here, David and John. David, if you'd like to go ahead first. Hello, David. David, hey, can you open your...
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you there now. Can you
I was
say
just
who you are and where
wondering,
you're from?
David from UK. Just asking Mr. Kesh, if you were travelling at horizontal unit, going to wherever, planet Zeus or whatever, how would you know how long you had been away for? Because there's no time.
Pardon?
How long would you know? How long would you know you've been away for if you was travelling
What do you mean?
to whatever planet? Would you be
I don't
away?
understand.
Would you be away for days, or would you be away for weeks or months, or what?
Depends what you want to do there and what is the time for you there and here.
So you've got to work that out in the beginning. How long you want to be away for?
Depends how long will it take you to be there and come back. We are planning an excursion 6th of June, 1 day return to the moon. The day is nothing. What about if we do a daytime of, let's say, Jupiter? How long would it be when we come back to Earth 1 day?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
It all depends on, and secondly, our day here on Earth is a meaningless thing. It's just that we added ourselves life to the daylight and we call it a day and night, but there is no day or year in the universe. The citizens of the universe are not like the chickens that everybody goes as asleep 6 o'clock Earth time. You understand? So it depends, but the life itself for man will change drastically the way we live.
Yeah.
We learn new dimensions, new principles. If you are getting replenished continuously with the energy, do you need to sleep? Do you need a rest? Or the body gets used to creating conditions of life that you can survive any dimension.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. It comes from the back of the principle that they call it, Einstein didn't understand it, and I call it a funny thing that when you turn one atom, the other side of the world turns, because he couldn't understand the condition of polarity as they are connected. Now, our cells, our soul, as energy, will interact with the fields of the universe and switches according to a strength and time and a position to elevate to higher levels of the strength which goes to inner sanctum, or lower strength which goes outside to the boundary. We'll learn a few new things in the next few times to come.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kesh. Thank you.
Hey, John Wells, would you like to go ahead?
Yes, thank you. Good day, Mr. Kesh. In the Spanish group, we have had an interesting question. Apparently on the news, we have seen several homes in the Canary Islands haven't been affected by the lava. The lava just goes round them. Has this been produced by an effect of plasma domes in those homes? Just like as in Dominica in 2017.
Oh no, but we see this in most of the volcanic eruptions. Buildings pass, or the lava passes around the buildings, and they stay there on their own. It's not the first time. It's just the way the fields move. The lava moves. No, I don't think there is anything behind it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You mentioned the bottle of Gans that fell. Antonio mentions today a bottle of soy sauce fell on the ground. This got me thinking that sometimes things need to ferment to make something new. So some discoveries take time to reveal their pattern.
Yeah.
It was just a comment he made. Lisbeth says, is there a way to take there is a way to take a photo from a satellite to the Earth at the exact moment when the Dome of Peace is made on a Sunday? Perhaps the energy that is formed in the moment is visible and helps us in the expansion of knowledge to others.
Maybe the time will come that many people will produce these things, and then we create a permanent dome. Any other question?
I have Jalal here with a hand up, so let's hear from him.
Thank you, Rick. Good day, Mr. Cash. Hello,
Hi,
everyone.
Jalal. 2 questions, I presume.
Okay, I will make it one.
Yeah.
Okay, it is not a question really. The change is happening, and we know for sure that it is coming. How we prepare ourselves and what we have really to increase to do to be in the right position to be part of all this beauty.
You see, when you look at today's situation, when we look at that Americans, for example, have withdrawn from all the wars as a gun policy, 2 weeks later, we see a new war, economical warfare started on China. This is the way when mankind stops all these clever moves, then they become enlightened to new understanding of new things. And it's becoming who gangs up better on the others that they can do something else. It's become a kindergarten warfare, I call it. Who will have the top deck of the playground and who will be underneath? In fact, they're all the same problem. But when the change will come, the whole lot will change. The whole lot will change when that comes to. And we'll all be ready for it. We'll all definitely be ready for it. We'll feel it when it comes. We will be there when it takes shape.
Thank you, Mr. Cash.
You're welcome. I wish you very success with your hidden team. Have you managed to crack it yet?
You make me laugh all the time, my dear.
Why?
Yeah, it's a secret and you expose it to the to the public. It is hidden and you will not
Everybody knows about it. This is
Yes,
Cash Foundation. They're not hidden. Souls bring it out.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we are waiting for a new MAGRAP system to appear.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
We are on it, and from with the help of all knowledge seekers, we're gonna do something good.
That's
Thank,
perfect.
thanks for
Thank you
you.
very much.
Thanks for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other question? In a coming time, we'll do some teachings that opens up new technologies and new understanding of the new systems, where we go back to more or less understanding the physical process, how to use the physical systems to create systems for elevation of the solar, or new transportation, transmutation, and with it, new materials, new access to new processes that will bring a lot of joy to many of us, that how we have advanced in knowledge and technology. If you have no other questions, we can call it a day today. You had your 2 hours of teaching.
Good. Okay, Mr. Kesh, that sounds good. We had Marinez with a hand up here, if you want to take that.
Yep.
Otherwise, we
Carry on. What does she have to tell us?
go ahead, Marinez.
Hello, Mr. Cash. Hello, Rick. Hello, everybody. But as somebody said, happy 400 years of 400 knowledge teachers. I think I learned how today how soul of physicality and soul of mind can travel. Thank you very much. Well, I had a question, but it's long. The second question, I thought, can I? You said I think the 5 stacker, we cannot do for somebody else in the family. Can we do the 4 cups for somebody else in the family?
You can't do anything for any family.
Even the 5 cups.
You see, yes,
The
but they
five.
have to understand you don't use it. It's used for them, made by them, made for them. There is a I'm trying to be very diplomatic. We took you through cup 1, cup 2, cup of life to show you the ways to battle with this plasma energy in the past 2 years. If you are vigilant with the system and understand the system working and other points, we see the mutation of this plasma energy in how is becoming more or less elusive and some knowledge, because they say cup 1 does not work the same as before. It's not that it doesn't work as before, it's just that this plasma energy has mutated to a new dimension. The biggest shell, which was the original one we saw, we could manage. Now it's become the inner shells of, which is a much stronger but deeper inside. So we need to change direction and composition with it. And in a coming time, next few days, next few weeks, we introduce you to something you all knew. But if we see the new process with the new energy plasmas which have been created, all this mayhem, we tell you to go back to a very simple version, and you see it works perfect because the gases can you close my home, please? The gases you produce in COP1 and COP2 was a complex gas energy fields. But these new versions of the plasma energy has taken a different direction because the top layer has been cooked. Now they go to the middle layer. And this middle layer needs a different technology, but we all know it. We'll tell you next week or the week after once we do it. But as usual, we now sit through the what we call protocol through Dr. Barakpour in Iran, that how you can handle the new variety and the versions in a different way, but we all knew it. But you will see a better result, faster result. But let's just build this up and then we explain to you exactly how things have changed. Shall we call it a day? It's about 11 o'clock.
Yes, maybe one quick question from Hassan that'll finish up our questions. He asked if there's any update on the Huawei daughter release of the Huawei CEO's daughter. If you have any
what?
update on that. The Chinese CEO's daughter that was released by Canada, actually, because that's who's been retaining her. And she's been released in exchange for the two Michaels that were being held in China. So that just occurred a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
So Hassan's wondering if you have any update on that.
No, it's just that it was obvious it's going to happen. They couldn't get a headway, and they played their game long enough. Now it's over, and now we see a new change. They released this one, but on the other hand, they have brought Chinese economy to its knees. This is a childish game plays which will play till energy balances comes in and people see equal. That was obvious that this lady sooner or later is going to be released with one excuse or the other. Don't forget there is a big game in the background, political and influential, and in so many ways, to go with a lot of energy industry and food industry. We'll talk about it when it happens, when it's time and the place. Thank you very much, Rick. Thank you very much for today. Teaching very short, but a lot of meaning behind it if you understood it. Thank you very much.
Okay, what other announcements do we have before we end here?
Yes. Please, those who are coming to be there at 10 o'clock and not before, and please make sure you have all your, vaccination or the test certificates with you. And those of you who come to the exhibition and you have to fly on Monday, we have organized the pharmacy to be available at 5 o'clock on Sunday at the exhibition center to do the test for you that even advise you to travel the next day. And you don't know where to go, we have arranged for a pharmacy to be there at 5 o'clock. And you get your test certificate to return on the 4th or the 5th. Thank you very much. And wish you a safe trip. Those who are on the way to here and those of you who will be with us in the coming days.
Great, thank you, Mr. Kesh. I know we also have the One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace and Justice coming up on Tuesday, October 5th. And that's at the usual 4 p.m. Central European time. That'll be the next public broadcast. And I thank everyone for attending today's 400th Knowledge Seekers Workshop here on Thursday, September 30th, 2021. And I'll play some ads to end today's show. And that should be it. Thank you so much, Mr. Kesh, for yet another workshop here. 400 is a significant milestone. And I thank you for your attendance here for many years now. Regular attendance, I might add. Always just in time and always ready to deliver the teaching. Okay, let's go into the end part here, and thanks everyone.